up here doing part 2. The reason for this is because this is the most comments, not the most comments, but these are the fastest comments I've ever got in my what if career. I hope this somehow gets viral. Okay, are we on to yeah. So there are a couple more, and part 2 is gonna be a little bit more longer than part 1. So let's hop right into this. They soon reach the village where the marine base where Zoa is, but they first wait. But first they enter a bar to eat since Luffy oh shoot okay since Luffy said he was hungry. While they were eating, a boy with blonde hair and a purple suit with a high-collared pink shirt walked in with two marines by his side. Luffy, who looked at him out the corner of his eye, saw while he was eating. The boy put his foot on the table where a regular man was eating, told him to scram. The man hesitated at first, but then left when the man heard him say he would get his father Acton Morgan, and the man grabbed his food and paid them quickly. Then mumbled something that sounds like selfish teenager who thinks he has the power. Just wait. That selfish teenager who thinks he has the power. And walked out the restaurant. Everyone turned their heads to the loud sound, which the boy putting his feet on the table then asked for service in a royal and demanding voice. May some people in the suck their teeth at the boy's ignorance, and then when went back to what they were drinking until the boys say that he was going to execute the monster Ronor Zoro on the day when he thinks he served his trial for the little girl who he was pointing to a sick look. Then a soon what as soon as he was done, he was met with a punch in the face. When he went to the ground, he looked at the guy who punched him, only to see particles that were different colors go back to a chair in a few feet in front of him. Might make his particles a different color. Review the color you want. I'm going with red. Want if you guys can't decide. Okay, yeah. So even though he has the light fruit, light is usually white. No offense. Oh, that sounded so racist. But light is usually the color white with, you know, light is usually white. So, y'all, but in this one, y'all can pick. Should his color be red, blue, purple, orange, green? Okay, mainly green, orange, and red, and blue. Those are the only ones I'm taking. And maybe even pink if it was Nami. But yeah, can't decide. When he hit the floor with his legs come toward his chest. Oh, and by the way, um, blue is going to be the strongest type of light, but that doesn't match Luffy. It matches somebody like Usopp. With his hands on his side, he didn't see anyone in the chair except a red shirt. Before he was no one there in that matter of seconds. Kobe grabbed Luffy and dashed out the restaurant, including getting on the wall, waiting for footsteps in case they saw him. But in relief, when he didn't hear anything, and then turned to Luffy, who quickly walked up the hill where the marine base, where the marine base was, making Kobe sweat drop. Then running to catch up to Luffy, he turned to the side right before the front of the gate that were guarded. Kobe, who turned to the corner to see Luffy grinning, only to see him turn into particles. um, uh, only to Luffy hanging with his arms on the tile of the walk. Then suddenly he saw Kobe, who joined him with a questionable look on his face. Asked, "Is that him?" Then saw Kobe nodded his head. Then they saw a ladder appear next to Kobe and saw the girl that was in the restaurant helping her mother with customers climb up with a smile on her face. Hopping down, suddenly running to Ronozoa. I mean, to Zoro. Whoa, why did I just say Ronozoa? To Zoro. Luffy, who decided to tell him he was on his crew, hopped down, then walking forward, leaving Kobe alone. Then they saw a statue coming in whoa. Then they saw a statue coming in view from atop the marine base. Then he looked at Zoro, who looked right at him. After he told the girl he didn't want any rice balls, she had he had she had to offer. Zoro who spoke first said, "What do you want?" "What do you want?" Luffy, with his trademark grin, looked at Zoro and told him, "You're joining my crew." Zoro, who had sharp teeth, with white eye, with whatever, looked and yelled, "I would never join your crew. I'm a bounty hunter." Luffy, who picked his nose while looking, yeah, who picked his nose while looking at him while saying, "No." Then looked at Zoro, who was looking bro, that voice was so crappy. Who looked like he was able to say something, but was cut off by the sound of footsteps, only to see the boy named Helmeppo, who looked at the girl and started to smile and grab the rice balls, who fussing and went for him, and then saw him spitting them out, saying they needed more salt. They needed more salt. They were too sweet. Then he stepped on them and looked at the girl and said, "The people on Marine Base without okay, I'm not gonna do that." The people on Marine Base without permission needed to be thrown out. In a cold, uncaring tone, then snapped his fingers, making the two Marines at his side quickly step forward to wait to a wait order. Then they looked at him with wide eyes. What he just said. Then the two Marines quickly looked and grabbed the girl. When Helmeppo said he would have them fired, that the then grabbed girl arms, legs, head, there and wall. Now you are despicable, Marine. Number one, Morgan don't even care about his kid. You could have killed Helmeppo. He was useless anyway. I'll just get me a kid. You know that kid that Helmeppo told you to throw over the wall. Yeah, tell her to come to my bases. She's gonna have my new kid. I feel like he would do that. To throw her over only to be catched by Kobe, who quickly gave her a assuring smile. Then, when he put her down, he shook his head at what the Marines had become, then climbing over the wall to meet with Luffy, only to hear him making a deal with Zoro, saying if he got his swords, he would join his crew. Then he heard Luffy ask him to Zoro's rope, or whatever. Zoro's rope, and quickly went to the untie Zoro's rope, bro. Went to a window and started making a laser out of his fingers, slicing the statue because he went too high. How do you go too high if you have a fruit that can fly? Too high. Still trying to get control of his power. How are you still trying to get control of your powers, bro? Oh my gosh. Luffy and Ace both have Logias. I hope we get to see the Alabasta arc. Though it's only to see how Mappa walk by thinking uh think about Hillary going to get his father to get Luffy and Zoro for what they did. Getting hit twice in just a matter uh, of 2 different weeks. What? You bum? Bro, Helmeppo, the only way you can redeem yourself is if you become an admiral. Like, that's the only way you can redeem yourself, bro. You're still a bum, bro. Bro, you know what's so sad? Kobe's a captain. Helmeppo's a lieutenant commander. His dad is, oh my gosh. Then when he felt a hand on his shoulder, he looked to the right of seeing a smiling Luffy, then looked at forward, then stopped 0.3 seconds random Helmeppo Usopp. Whoa. Um and had a scared Usopp look on his face and tried running only to run in the same place, then looked at Luffy, who pointed a random wall and cut it to little tiny pieces and looked back at Helmeppo. Helmeppo looked at Luffy as I'm not doing what? No, I'm not gonna do this voice. With only a little bit of pride in his voice. Luffy then told him he wanted Helmeppo to take him to the place they had Zoro's sword. Helmeppo, who sighed in defeat, told um him to come on the started walking boys hallway. He quickly thought persistent persistent stirred then turned the lock in his door and quickly walked over to his pillow and pulled out a gun and shot one bullet into Luffy and saw him stand. Then shot a few more times, narrowing his eyes at Luffy's body, making sure he didn't miss, and then saw hole. Then Luffy then them close up. Okay, you don't make any sense. Wait, what is this? Imagine it when it's like the white background with the little ash flying around when Luffy saw Ace die. Okay, I don't, yeah, we're gonna get there. Then had a lot of sweat coming down his face. When Luffy gave him death glares, then he walked down sheepishly and went to the window and grabbed the 3 swords. Then walked out towards Luffy. Luffy handed him the sword. Luffy was about to question him about, but was stopped when he said that it's what he had on him. What? I don't. Pointed at Helmeppo, who looked scared until he felt the beam go straight past his face, a few inches away. Luffy then saw Helmeppo hop through. Okay, this is gonna. Okay, hop through was. I'm just gonna skip that entire sentence. Oh, wait. Luffy actually had a cool scene. Moved in to turn into particles and grab the bullets. Oh, kind of like the Flash, but Kizaru's not that fast. Or maybe if he awakens his devil fruit, he'll actually be able to move at light speed. While grabbing Zoro's sword before they hit the ground and crossed his arms with Zoro's sword in his left and the Marine's weapons in their right hand, and tilted his hat covering his eyes. The ridiculous smile. Then Kobe opened his eyes, not seeing anything happen. Then Zoro looked at him. Then they looked at the Marines, who were still what? That's not how you spell word. Who were still holding the pose as if they still had their weapons in their hands. Then Axe Hand Morgan, who didn't see anything, tell them to shoot. When he looked and when he looked down, not hearing any guns, his eyes widened, just like the Marines saying, "What? Impossible!" Then looked at the voice that was speaking, only began Luffy laughing while saying,
Looking for Lee's?
Then drop their weapons. Oh no, that's not how Luffy sounds.
Looking for these?
No, I don't know how to sound like Luffy. I know how to sound like everybody else in the crew, which is really sad. But I don't know how to sound like Luffy. Dang it! Dropped their weapons and looked up only to start laughing while while everyone looked at him surprised and scared, then saw him drop the bullets. Drop the bullets. What did you just see? Guns are not bullets. They are bullet holders though. This video's been a little bit long. Morgan and Zoro started yelling and asking Luffy what was he. Then they got their answer when he started saying he ate the pika pika no mi fruit. Then Axe and Morgan quickly told his men not to be cowards and charged with their swords. Kizaru can kill anybody he wants now that I think about it, if they're not using Haki. Because he can just pass through them with his devil fruit. Oh. Doing so with Luffy just standing there while Kobe finally got Zoro free, who quickly got his swords and jumped in front of Luffy in speed. Only Luffy could see, then blocked all swords and marine swipe. They quickly turned and healed the three-sword style Dragon Twister. Just gave him one move. I won't give him any more future moves. I'm just okay. And quickly all the marines flew in the air, falling at the ground, Zoro with a thud. It only left Morgan, who snuck up on Luffy, about to cut him with Zoro yelling, Luffy, look out! Luffy, look out! But quickly seeing Luffy wave at him and got cut, his body falling to the floor. What? Luffy started staring at Kobe, then started running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Yo, but stopped when they didn't see blood and quickly saw Luffy's body disappear, turning into particles and making up his body. Then Morgan turned around while asking, You're a Logia user. Quickly getting a nod from Luffy's. I don't know why I'm laughing. Quickly getting a nod from Luffy. Morgan quickly started forming. What? Morgan doesn't have. Okay, this is some bullcrap. Does Axe Hand Morgan have Haki? Oh, Tekken 1-on-1 made a video about him. Okay. AKI. Bro. Bro. Morgan does not have Haki. What are you talking about? Bro. I love Luffy yelling out particles. Quickly getting a nod from Luffy. Morgan quickly started forming Haki punches, Luffy sending him flying. Then Morgan with a speed moving on Kobe and quickly tried swiping. Morgan does not have Haki. Like, get that in your darn head. How can Morgan have Haki? I know he's a captain, but not even Smoker, the strongest captain ever, had Haki. Yeah, and Smoker would demolish him. Smoker's pretty strong. He blocked by Zoro. Luffy quickly getting into middle, kicking Morgan in the chest, sending him in the air. Then quickly horizontal in the air. Luffy kicked Morgan with a lightning fast kick in the head, sending the man into a wall, then knocking him unconscious. Then came back down. In the restaurant, Luffy Zoro finished fighting. At this time, you have to like, peace.